to start this. All right, and welcome to another edition of the Bailey Watching Podcast. I go by the name of Kobra Karate, sipping on that juice, waiting to get loose.
Yeah, and it's me. It's your boy D-Mobile.
Black Seth Rogen. It's your girl, K.I. Double. Sipping on nothing, because I don't got nothing yet. Give me a second.
Sipping on that lean, about to take one for the team.
I have some chips. Chips and dip.
Crazy chips and dip.
Sipping on that. I'm saying, you be sipping on that lean? You be sipping on that lean? Listening to listen to Chopper Screw music?
I told the they still listen to that, and what do they call it?
They be tipping on faux foes, riding on faux vogues.
They do.
Tipping on faux foes, wrapped in faux vogues. That's what it is.
They do this thing called pop trunk. I learned about, where they ride around and their trunks are popped open and they have like all these lights and big speakers and like they're weird. They just have a different culture. It's pretty cool.
Do they still be doing do they still be doing the swerve when they be all lined up and they all going? Yeah. They still do that?
I'll send you a video. Like literally the last time I went out, they do a night like through the parking lot. Yeah. I didn't know what was going on.
I mean, I would love to see that. That's just different culture. I wouldn't mind seeing that. The first time I seen that, like on the video, I thought that was the dopest shit. And I was just like, damn, that's dope.
It'd be like 6 or 7 of them, and they're just like going like this. They call it swinging.
Yeah.
Then they start like going in circles, and then that's when they have like the last car, or at least like the last 2 cars will have their trunks open, and it like says some shit like, well, whoever they are, like Mr. Nasty, whoever it is.
Oh shit, that's crazy. So, yes, if everybody doesn't know, we do have a Texas resident who, yes, and everybody knows how Texas is damn near frozen over, or was frozen over, and they was going through it. So, our Texas correspondent here, tell us how everything's going, man. How you doing? How's everything going?
I'm okay. Thank you for asking. I survived. The worst of the storm was Monday and Tuesday here. I would say just for Houston. I can't speak for all areas, but it's pretty bad. There's still lots of people that have no power and no water. I'm in the process of moving, and my new apartment didn't have water the other day. And like the housekeeper was asking me, I just told Demaria, the housekeeper was asking me if she can take water because her house still doesn't have water. So there's no running water. You have to boil. It's still in a boil water notice, which we've had back home. But I never took them serious until I actually seen like brown shit coming out the sinks and like parasites coming out the water. Like I never thought like you really should boil your water. Like when I used to hear it, I'm just like, all right, drink it. But you really can't even brush your teeth with it because it's just not even clean water. So it's pretty sad. And then to know that all of it could have been avoided if the government didn't shut off people's power. We probably wouldn't have had as many people that are having to deal with like home damages. A lot of people didn't even have renter's insurance because some places don't require you to have it out here. So they have like busted pipes. Like I went to Home Depot to get boxes because again, I'm moving. People were lined up trying to get pipes and all these coverings and sheet wall and just all types of shit just to fix their houses. So it's definitely bad. We just got a link for FEMA assistance. So they'll be assisting people who are still without home, like without water. Like it's just really sad. It really felt like a third world country for a good 4 days for myself, and then there are still people who are still dealing with it. So
yeah, that's crazy. And I heard that, and I did hear that that the government, the officials whatever in Texas turned off the power, especially like in like Houston and Dallas, like specifically to try to save money. And then if you look like I saw some pictures online where they showed like all the outskirts surrounding the city was dark, but when you have like downtown Houston or Dallas or whatever, that shit was lit up. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, that's kind of messed up. And yeah, because I heard that they're not part of the national grid, so there's no way to use other states' power, to transfer it over to Texas, whatever, if they're having any issues, because they were all trying to cut corners and and everything like that. But this whole shit exposed their ass, and I hope people in Texas vote, get them motherfuckers out of there. You know what I'm saying? Stop letting these motherfuckers vote with their wallet and start voting for the people's needs.
Well, what I learned from this experience is that I guess many years ago, Texas kind of separated itself from the normal supply of what the rest of the world uses. Now in Massachusetts, we got what, Mass Electric or something.
National Grid, yeah.
National Grid. And Georgia, we had Georgia Power. There's one power place you get your energy from, and that was it. So when I moved here, I found it real interesting. Like a couple of weeks ago, when I was looking for a new place, one of the girls told me, like, "Hey, if you need electricity, I know a guy. He got some really good deals." And I was like, "You know a guy? How do you know a guy for electricity? Like, it's just electricity. You go you go to one place and you get it." But here it is privatized, and they did that so they can monetize off of electricity. So it's like playing Monopoly. So there's a bunch of private companies who have electricity that they buy from one source, which is Centric Electric, basically Mass Grid. General, whatever, say Georgia Power. So a bunch of the little private companies buy electricity from this one big power company to then supply to their residents. They get cheaper deals depending on how many accounts they have. It's like, a business. And Texas have been like this for years. And this is how they're able to have low costs in real estate, no taxes on stuff, because they're able to play Monopoly with people in the state, which we didn't think would come effect until now. So now into all of these private energy companies don't have any more electricity to give out. So that's the reason why some people's electricity is not on. They have no more electricity. So they turned on electricity where they could, and they're just like, "Hey, we're all out. If you need more electricity, call this number and tell them to give our company more electricity." But now, since they are able to control it, they were charging like 0.00009 something, like say 1 cent for 1 watt of energy. Now they're charging $9,000 for 1 watt of energy, which would cost an average homeowner $450 every half an hour to run electricity in their home. So it'll be $450 every 30 minutes to run electricity in your home, because now they're able to tax on the energy and charge for it. So these private companies are now calling their residents and like, "Hey, we have no more energy. We're going to close out your account. You don't have to worry about your last bill. We're going to give you a $100 Visa gift card. Good luck finding electricity somewhere else, because now that you're fucked with no electricity, you got to go now find it." So you're calling around, but the prices have now skyrocketed. And the prices here were already crazy, because let me tell you, I paid over the summer, my electricity bill was like $450 a month each month. I was like, what the fuck? Why is electricity so much in an apartment, not in a house, not in like a 5-bedroom, 6-bathroom house that I have going on? Like, it's in an apartment, but it's like that because they can charge you whatever they would like to, because they're the company, it's like playing Monopoly.
Yeah. And they're not regulated, by the they're not regulated by the government either, because they're all private. Damn.
So now it's like, yeah, so it gets real. So it's bigger than just, it is the government, it is the elected officials, because they're the ones who keep it going. But now it's like, you got to change your whole process. It's another story down.
Now, see, and also, right, I've been online and everything like that, and everybody talks about, climate, climate change, the weather change and everything like that and everything, because basically, it froze over in Texas. And now, you got the conspiracy theorists out there talking about HAARP. If people don't know what HAARP is basically, it's a weather manipulation machine, whatever, wherever it goes, it can manipulate weather, natural disasters, earthquakes, shit like that. HAARP. So a lot of people say HAARP was used on basically storm. So a lot of people were basically saying that HAARP was used in Texas and all those other states where it never snowed before, or where it shouldn't snow, because they have this snow now where there's these videos online, all throughout social media, where the snow, they was holding lighters to the snow, where the snow doesn't either melt or it turns black. And people saying, "Oh, that's HAARP." And I'm just like, all right, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Or maybe that the ozone or the or the Earth atmosphere is so fucked up and polluted that this is what's fucking happening. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, but you living in Texas, so what do you think it is? Do you think it's climate control? Do you think it's a government conspiracy using HAARP? Like, what do you think it is? Texas correspondence.
think she froze.
Oh, she froze. She froze and she got the face on like, she's like, who, me? She's like, shit. 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 Nigga, I'm gonna tell you something.
She was like,
Yeah, man.
She was like, she about to go, her hair ain't even real.
Oh, shit.
I'm concerned. My heart goes out to the people in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but part of me is like, yo, like that shit happens every day, B. Like,
Not like that. Not like that. Not like that. That shit don't happen every day like that. We'll put like this. It don't supposed to happen like that in Texas. When you got actually fucking ice, you see ice in people's houses, motherfucker. I used to hear about Texas heat. I ain't never heard about Texas ice.
No.
You know what I'm saying? That's just a different type of shit.
In St. Louis, we've had times like that where we lost electricity and power and shit, and we had ice in the crib.
But I'm saying though, but it's still, I'm saying that's Illinois, that's Missouri. So it's not, I'm saying it's not like, I'm saying it's not a real thing. I'm saying it's not a rare thing for it to snow in, I'm saying in Illinois or in Missouri. You know what I'm saying? But for, you know what I'm saying, but places.
Houses are built with insulation where the houses here are not. It was 10 degrees outside and it was legit 30 degrees inside this apartment. It's
like, and it's also like hearing about a tornado in Texas is nothing. But hearing a tornado in Massachusetts, you know, folks like, yo, did you see about the tornado in Massachusetts? Yo, that shit was crazy. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, okay, you know, but still, it's like you have kids. I'm saying you have kids, or you have some. I'm saying you have some adults that never seen fucking snow before, or never seen ice. I'm saying never seen ice outside of a freezer. Now you seen that shit in your home. You're like, nigga, I never thought I'd see this shit. That's just crazy. But I'm saying, but back to that now. You know, as far as with the whole Texas thing, do you think it was more conspiracy, I'm saying, with the HAARP situation, or do you think it was just, you know, climate change?
I'm not into conspiracy theories as much as some people are. So for me, I think it's just honestly climate control, as well as the world ended. I'm closer to God, so I think of the Bible and like Jesus coming and, you know, the world overturning of that sort. So, and some people may say that's a conspiracy. So that would be my thought. I don't think it's more so hard because a lot of different things over the, you can look back, even last year, there were some climate things that happened. LA got super, what was it, like red skies for about 6 months or something like that. Like there's just a lot going on outside of our control that we can't kind of control.
Well, the red skies in LA, that was due to the fires, the whole forest fires and everything burning to the point. But again, that could result into climate change too, because all that, I'm saying, all that soot and everything like that burning up and you're saying in the forest, you know, damages the atmosphere too. So, you know, it's a big cause of that. But yeah, man, that shit. Yeah, when I was hearing like all the different stories and everything like that, and saying what the Texas government's doing as far as monopolizing, you know, the whole electric situation and shit like that. Yeah, that shit is crazy. That shit is crazy. But I mean, unfortunately, it does take a natural disaster to expose some bullshit behind what the government's doing in order for them to save, you know, in order to save a dollar when they're all about them saying lining their pockets instead of being for the people. So hopefully, Texas, y'all come together and get those bastards out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Get those bastards out. You know what I'm saying? Put some real motherfuckers in. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm gonna say. I threw them bastards out.
Yeah.
Nigga said I threw them bastards out. How would you feel, right? If you in a fucking PTA meeting, right? How would you feel? You in a PTA meeting, right? If people don't know what I'm talking about Lean on Me, the part where Mr. Clark's talking about why he expelled, you know, the kids that he expelled. And so now you're having a PTA meeting. Yeah, so it's like, how would you feel if that's your, if that's your child he threw out and he's talking, he gives a little sermon and he was like, and I threw them bastards out. And that's all I'm gonna say. I said, I think I want to fight the nigga.
Yo, it's funny. It's funny. What's the lady's name? What's her name?
No, that's not Mrs. Hawkins. That's not. I know you were about to say that. That's not Mrs. Hawkins. That's not Miss Hawkins. Miss Hawkins.
What was her name? I don't remember her name.
Oh man, I forgot her name. But the
Anyway,
mean lady.
She was the bad guy in that movie. But was she really?
She was.
Her son was kicked out of school with no provocation. Just kicked out.
Yeah.
A new principal came to the school and said, I don't like your son. He's out of here.
Yeah.
No, but the new principal came in and said, yo, the old way is not working. Teachers are damn near getting killed almost.
Yeah.
So now it's time for me to clean this shit up before the state takes over, because that means they can hardly read. You know what I'm saying? They can hardly read. So it's like, nigga, I'm coming in, I'm changing some shit.
I don't know if she was a bad guy so much, bro. Her son was kicked out with no reason. He didn't do shit. He went to school one day and was told not to come back.
For some reason.
And then when asked about it, he referred to him as a bastard. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, but
I don't know if he's the bad guy.
But for some reason, I always assumed that the drug dealing nigga who beat up Ice Trey or Kid Ray. Who beat up Kid Ray was her son. I always assumed that.
It's funny that you make that assumption.
I was gonna say, didn't her son do something wrong?
No, they never showed her son. I half assumed it was him, but then when you think about it, that nigga ain't got no mom. That nigga don't have no parents.
So the thing is,
on his own.
Yo, that nigga was scary and he didn't belong in school. He was scary and he didn't belong in school. Yo, and my thing is, I was like, yo, yeah, he was mad old. So I'm like, yo, if that's the case, he kicked him out. I'm like, yo, scary people don't belong in school. Period.
I'll never forget.
Drug dealer looking at people.
I was watching that movie and my uncle comes in, and my uncle Terrell, he comes in and he sits down. He starts watching the movie too, and it's the very first part of the movie where they throw the toilet out the window in the bathroom. My uncle goes, "Niggas are stupid," and then walked away and could watch the rest of the movie.
See, and we talked about that. And I first I thought, I was like, what are they doing? Why would they do that? But then as I got older and was 13 and 14 or whatever and did stupid shit, I realized them motherfuckers were just kids doing stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? It was kids doing stupid shit.
My uncle was highly offended. Like, niggas just stupid, and walked away. Did not come back for the rest of the movie.
They was. But I seen that shit as a kid. And I remember the most scariest part for me is when the school was saying, when he left the first time and he was like, yo, the school's gonna go up, the school's gonna go up in hell, whatever. And then all of a sudden they started playing Welcome to the Jungle. You see all the bad shit happening. I was like, oh my gosh, this is the most scariest shit in my life. I like what the hell's going on here?
No. The scariest part is you'll be dead in a year. Dead in a year, son. When he said that to Kid Ray, I was like, yo, Kid Ray, you gonna die, bro. Don't leave, bro.
I was like, yo.
You're gonna die, bro.
I was like, man. But yeah, man, shout out to that movie, man. But yeah, man. Speaking of movies, Best Man Holiday is coming back for a final. But instead of a movie, they're actually going to make it into a 10 episode series on NBC Peacock. Now, I'm a fan of Best Man. I love Best Man. I love Best Man Holiday. For the series, I'm for it too. I'll give it a chance.
No.
I'll give it a chance because I'm a fan of them.
No.
I would like to see what they would do. I'm a fan of Malcolm Lee. I love his work. I want to see what happens. I'm curious. And plus, I support Black movies. But that's not your typical Black movie. But
so the reason why I'm against it is because I think they closed the story when old girl died. Spoiler alert, by the way. When old girl died, that's the end of that story. For me.
I would like to see how my man heals, from that.
I don't want to. No, I don't want to see him with another woman.
I don't want to see him with another woman either.
Nah, he's definitely gonna get with another woman.
Absolutely. That's gonna be a huge part of his character is him get with another woman.
Yeah. Hopefully, it's like an approved, get together and not no like sneak shit. Hopefully it's like him just introducing somebody they all like. But no, I think it's gonna be good. I think it's more so for ratings for Peacock, whatever that for that network. But I think it'll be good. I'm gonna try to give it some hope for Black History Month. Just a little bit.
Yo, I'm sorry. I think that movie is one of my favorite movies of all time. I even like the sequel. I didn't love the sequel, but I like the sequel. And when I cannot remember her name for the life of me in the thing. I can remember almost everybody else's name, but I can't remember her.
Mia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She died was probably the saddest fucking thing in the world.
Yeah. Big time. Big time.
In the world. And I hated to see it, but as far as a storytelling point, that's good drama, bro.
Yeah.
And they ended it good. It's done. Miss Sam done.
And when he started losing it, when he started lowering the casket, that's real shit. That's real shit. And I felt them on that. And I was just like, I'm saying it hit him like to the point like, yo, she's actually gone. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, but I mean, I'm all about giving it a shot,
Can we start, sorry, Kylie, can we start keeping like notes and stats, like when we be like, I don't like this, I like it, and then when it comes out, we review it again and see where we said, like how NBA.
Yeah, we can revisit. Yeah, we can revisit it. I'm saying we can revisit it. I'm saying who was right and who was wrong. You know what I'm saying? Or who gives? Who gives?
Not necessarily right or wrong. It might be. Or it might be. No. Well, yeah, I guess. Yeah.
No. We gonna put
it might be trash. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, trash or it's gonna be good.
No, we don't gotta put it trash, but some people just give trash points and some people give trash views of certain things. Like for me, I'm excited about Coming to America 2, but at the same time, some of the trailer on it, I don't like some of that shit. I think they're forcing some of it for me. But I'm not saying it's gonna be a bad movie. I'm not saying that, but there's certain things that I'm a little nervous about.
We should do a barely watching what do you call it? Watch party for Coming to America 2. That'd be hot.
Yeah, but the thing is that we won't be able to post it everywhere because copyright and all that stuff, and that's the only thing. So they'll shut it down quick.
With Coming to America, all it has to do is not be the worst, and I'll be okay with it.
Oh, of course.
Because after 30-some years, there's two things that's going to happen. It's going to come back and be, wow, that was amazing. Or going to be like, yo, that was the worst. And the wow, that was amazing is super fucking rare. So all they got to do is not have it be the worst, and I'll be okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's gonna damn near break the internet just because of the nostalgia behind it and so many classic moments behind it where people are still referencing lines and quotes from the movie to this day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
I just hope people don't kill it. Like some people don't get it. Other generations don't get the classicness to it. So
but it's not for them. It's not for them.
No, it's not for them, but they're the ones who are gonna watch it, who's gonna be on Twitter talking about it, who's gonna be they're gonna be the ones blocking all about it. So like that's what I'm saying. Like they can kill certain things. And it's like this is kind of random, but it's kind of like the internet really controls some shit when it don't really be needing to have that much control. Like younger kids, the younger generations, their Twitter lines, their blogging, their complaining, even when they just talked about Meek Mills and his Kobe Bryant lyric. Like, come on. One person had a problem with it and they keep forcing it, so now everybody has a problem with it, or people really got a problem with it. Did you really hear what he said?
Yeah, but even with that, I think the internet is definitely needed. But some voices should be limited because for so long we never had a platform or anywhere to speak our piece about our movies. We always had Siskel and Ebert speaking on our movies and our fucking experiences. What the fuck do you guys know about our experiences and what we've been through to speak on it, to say if you like it or not? You know what I'm saying? So now that we have the internet where everybody can voice their opinion, where a lot of opinions don't fucking matter, but some are valid, which I'm okay for. Because now it's like you have so many voices speaking. This is basically, all right, you're gonna pick and choose which one, saying which one you're gonna go through. And then you're gonna make the assumption for yourself. So I'm cool with that. But yeah, sometimes there is selective outrage.
But
I'm saying just like you said with the Meek Mill shit and everything.
Yeah, that's what you were saying about Siskel and Ebert. What do they know about our experiences? That's 100% true, but that is only one part of it. The other part of it is Siskel and Ebert know film, and so the other side of it is people who know our struggle, who know our story, who identify with us. A lot of them motherfuckers don't know film. You know what I'm saying? It would be nice if people who judge our shit were people who knew film and were from our background. You know what I'm saying? Like have both sides of it. And what you usually get is either or. You get the motherfuckers who know film, or you get fucking Ray who worked at McDowell's, and he's like, "That's a good ass movie, man." You know what I mean? Like,
oh, of course. You know what I'm saying? Those guys, I'm like, yo, shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you know what I'm saying, film is constantly evolving. How it's shot, you know what I'm saying, how it's edited, I'm saying, like different, different angles. I mean,
storytelling doesn't change, you know what I'm saying? Like,
no, it definitely doesn't. I'm saying it definitely doesn't, but certain views of it definitely does change and how it's, I'm saying how it evolves, which is definitely dope, and definitely what I like about it. But yeah, some motherfuckers, just like I said, some motherfuckers you just don't need their voice. You just don't need to hear their opinion, because not everybody knows what the fuck they're talking about, especially when it comes to certain movies.
And that's what I was saying. I didn't say it as elegant as you, but yeah, that's kind of what I was saying.
But yeah, it's just like one thing I never do. I never go to social media to see how a movie was. I stay the fuck off of social media, because some motherfuckers will give horrible views about the movies or spoilers or anything like that. There's only a few people that I go to that I respect with their opinions. Say when it comes to movies, you, Clep, you, Clep. There's a couple others, but I could count them. I could basically count them on one hand, and it's basically like y'all's views. When it comes to movies, I could be like, okay, okay.
So,
but
it's funny you say that, because a lot of times I go to social media to hear people's opinions on shit, because I've started to notice that a lot of times the general public will see things that I don't see, and sometimes I like to be aware of the shit that I don't see. Like, oh, they'll be like, oh, you see how they're sort of trying to hint that so and so is doing this, and I'm like, word? Like I miss stuff like that. You know what I mean? So sometimes I go to social media to hear shit that I didn't pick up on. Now, a lot of times it's bullshit, but it's still like a point of view that I wouldn't have thought of.
I mean, I do that too. But it all depends on who it's coming from. Because it's coming from a certain place, I have to check their track record. I have to check their track record to see what other movies they liked.
I'm talking about, like, I wonder what people are saying about the weekend Super Bowl performance. You know what I mean? Like, because I want to see what the general public thinks. I want to see what the general public thought about this, because a lot of times my view, I don't have the general public's view. I don't, you know what I mean? I'm not picking that up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now, even with that, that's even hard for me too, because some people will just give this wacky ass fucking opinion just for dialogue, or just to have a debate, when they really don't even feel like that. They be like, yo, The Weeknd sucks. Yo, I'm saying, yo, The Weeknd's never been a great singer. Seriously? Stop it. Why would you even say that? That's just saying, shut the fuck up. Now, this is like, now your point's invalid. You know what I'm saying? You're just doing that shit. Doesn't saying, just to clickbait and excuse me, have fucking a debate and shit. Like, nah, I hate those. I hate those type of people.
What did you think?
Know what I'm saying? It was trash. I'm saying I didn't like it.
I don't know. People said it was trash. I don't see what was so bad about it. Like, I didn't think it was fantastic, but
It was boring. It was like there was nothing crazy about it. There was nothing to be like, yo, that's a performance. But I don't say, but at the same time, I don't know what else he could have done to make the performance crazy like that.
well, I think I think he did a lot of symbolism. So I think as far as I think he thinks he killed it, because like I said, there was a lot of symbolism. His performance told a story. There was a beginning, a middle, and an end. There was a narrative it had a narrative to it. You know what I'm saying? So I think it was a real clever performance.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I say it was dope. Like, I think it was dope the way he put it together, because he's been, for the last 2 or 3 years, I don't know how long, he's been doing this sort of performance art shit, putting bandages on his face, et cetera, et cetera. And I don't understand why people don't understand it. Like, it's not real complex at all. And I'm the person who, I just told you, I don't pick up on things, but I see what he's doing, and I get it. I mean, I get parts of it. You know what I'm saying? And people are like, "What's wrong with the weekend?" Like, bro, he's doing something. Like, he first came out, he had bruises on his face, like he was up, and he had that red suit on. Then the next album he came out, he had bandages on his face with the red suit on. Then the following album he comes out, he's got the bandages off and he has a new face. This is telling a story. It's saying something. You know what I'm saying? It's weird and crazy, but it's not that complex to understand sort of what he's doing. And his performance at the Super Bowl was, he kind of took that and compressed it into one performance.
See, but I even guess with that, you have to be a fan of The Weeknd to actually understand that. There's fans, and then there's casual fans, and there's some people that like a few songs, you know what I'm saying, whatever. So it's like, in order to understand that, you have to be a fan. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a casual fan. There's certain songs, whatever, but I don't look for The Weeknd like that. You know what I'm saying? So
So you didn't know none of that with the bandages and stuff?
No.
I thought anybody who knew of The Weeknd knew that, because it's very public. Like, I don't think you have to be a fan of The Weeknd to know that he came out with the bruises on his face, to know that he had the bandages on, and to know that he had the fake, because those things all made headlines. It was all over the internet, like, when it happened. So for me, I'm like, everyone has seen this. Why is everyone not understanding? But
there's certain things you have to understand about a person, or if you're a fan of a person. Like, for instance, like Janelle Monáe, why she constantly wears black and white. You have to be a fan to understand why she does that, because it tells a story, and it's like symbolism. It's basically like she's basically commemorating her mother and her father, because I guess they were service workers, like maid. Her mom was like a maid or something like that, or something. So she always wears black and white to commemorate them. But a lot of people don't know that, because they're not fans, or, you know what I'm saying? So there's certain things you have to be aware of to understand certain artists, or to understand, certain celebrities or whatever.
Talking about the Weeknd Super Bowl performance, and I was just saying how I don't think it was great, but people were saying it was trash. I don't think it was trash at all. I think it was all right. I think it was borderline good. And so I was saying about how it's his performance was kind of deep, and there was like a story to it and all that shit. And like, if you've been paying attention to what he's been doing, like, you'll kind of understand that. And that's just what we were talking about.
Okay. I think I guess it kind of like, you have to be in tune with your artist side to actually get it, kind of stuff, which is what you're pretty much saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think so. Before I went out, Demario, you were saying something about film. So I agree as far as Weeknd's performance. I didn't think it was trash, but I don't think he touched everybody he was trying to touch. Just put it that way. Like it just was kind of more so if you were into him or a fan of him, you liked him. But talking about film, Malcolm and Marie, did you guys see that? Yeah.
Love it. Love that.
Yeah.
Love that. It's very heavy on the dialogue part, but I love it. I love the movie.
I don't watch black movies.
See, this dude is an asshole. You're a freaking asshole. But it's you. You have to be a film. You have to be a person that loves film to appreciate that.
Hey, time travel, lasers, ninjas, aliens, dragons. I'm in there.
You would like it. I think you would like it, D. If you like the Jasmine Sullivan movie, I think you'll like this one. I mean, Jasmine Sullivan EP, you like this one too. I think you will.
So what is Malcolm and Eddie about?
Malcolm and Marie.
I'm sorry. What is Whole Boys Get Out of Police about?
Basically it's about it's a film director that finally gets his moment from a movie, and he goes with this he's going with this younger girl, who had some demons.
Is this a Zendaya movie?
Yeah.
Okay, you're giving too much of the plot right now. I'll watch it.
No, that's in the thing. That's in the little excerpt of the.
I feel like you're giving me too much. I'll watch it.
No, that's what it's about, but it's dope. It's dope. I think you'll like it. It's very heavy on the dialogue. But
I like dialogue heavy films. I like Kevin Smith.
So I say that because, when I said like younger generations can kind of kill it, I seen the movie. I seen it twice. I watched it one time. I fell asleep and I went back to it and finished watching it. I enjoyed it as well. But if I would have listened to younger generations who may not be into film or into understanding where those two individuals were, their characters were at that time, they wouldn't see it the same kind of. So it's kind of like where you were saying, where kind of, who'd you say doesn't understand our culture but knows film? What were you saying? Ebert?
I was saying Siskel and Ebert.
Yeah, Siskel and Ebert. Like they would understand film, but that culture piece they wouldn't get. Go ahead.
You don't know who Siskel and Ebert are?
Yeah, I do. I just couldn't think of their names. I'm high. Okay.
she's high.
No.
What's the name?
Because I know that there's a bit of an age thing from us. So I'm wondering if that age was at that point where her generation doesn't know Siskel and Ebert. That's all.
Oh, first of all, let me tell you, I think that my generation is the dopest because we got like everything, the old, the new, the
No, it's not.
Like the next level. Are you serious?
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. Stop it. Our generation is the last for everything. Mm-mm. And our generation started the dope. We started the cool. Yes, we have. Because now everybody's.
You're the last of everything, but we have the best. We have the mixture of both. We have the mixture of the last of everything as well as the start start of everything. Whatever.
Well said, I'm a baby, right? Plus I know what the 80s like.
It's like
you don't.
No, I'm a baby, right? I'm saying I'm a baby, right? Plus I can tell you what the 80s is like.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever. I don't need to know what the 80s. I can tell you what the 90s are like.
You don't know what the 80s like. You can't be the best.
No, he said. Plus I'm 19. I can tell you what the 80s. Yeah, I'm 19. I can tell you what the 80s is like.
I was born in the 80s. I'm the best.
But you don't know what it's
born in the 80s is the best, sweetheart.
You can't tell me. You can't tell me what the 80s is like. Yo, if you were born after 85.
What was you born, Kylie? What was you born?
In 80.
Okay. Where was you born, Tamayo?
Same year.
So you don't know. You can't tell me what the 80s are like. You were freaking.
Damn right I could. Damn right I could. Damn right I could. Yo, listen. Yo, we were born before 85. We were born before 85. Yeah. We were like, we came in a generation where 8 tracks were still being sold.
Yo, Key, where were
you know what I'm saying?
Where were you the night We Are the World debuted?
We Are the World. The fuck? I don't know.
So
thank you.
No, with all due respect. With all due respect.
Respectfully.
Look, all I'm saying is All I'm saying, I hate,
Listen, sweetheart. Listen, sweetheart.
I hate to sound elitist, but I truly believe that the 80s was the best decade, period. And I feel like if you were alive to experience the 80s, you have an advantage over people who weren't.
Everybody in the 80s was on crack or poor. What the fuck? That wasn't the best.
See, that's what people who weren't there think it was.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, I didn't hear.
Yeah, I just wasn't poor. I just wasn't poor because my dad wasn't in the music
about crack
industry.
until New Jack City came out.
Listen, I wasn't poor because my dad started New Edition, so I was there in the 80s. I just wasn't poor in the 80s because that's when New Edition dropped and Boston was on the map and we were taking off at that point. So what I know of the 80s is everybody else was either poor or crack.
Look. In Boston in the 80s, there were 5 people who weren't on crack, and that was New Edition.
Exactly.
6 of us. So Bobby Brown was on crack. There's 6 of us. So you saying Bobby was the one that was on crack?
There was 5 people in the whole state, in the whole city of Boston that wasn't on crack, and it was them kids.
Oh, you're stupid. So what year was you born?
86.
Oh, nah.
86.
After 85, anything after 85, you a 90s baby. Period.
Oh, I'm not.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yo, you can't. Yo, you don't remember what the 80s is like. You don't remember what the 80s is like. No, you don't.
Yo, I remember.
I was rich. I was a little rich kid. I had everything I wanted. I remember. Trust me.
I remember I went to.
Life was nice then.
Yo, remember we went to that 90s party?
Yeah.
It was thrown by Felicia. Now, Felicia was born a little bit before you, but not early enough to truly know the 90s the way we do. Mm-hmm. I went to the 90s party. Everybody there had on the bright, colorful shit. Everybody there was dressed early 90s because that's what you see on TV. Mm-hmm. The real 90s was Carhartts, Timberland boots,
fatigues.
That was the 90s. That's
vest.
Piece of the 90s that gets promoted on TV from 90 to like 93. That's what everyone thinks the 90s were. Mm-hmm. There was another 7 years of the 90s. So my point being is younger people, when they think of 90s, they think of that colorful, baggy, crisscross shit. That shit was the smallest part of that decade. You know what I'm saying? So when I went to the 90s party, I had on some baggy ass jeans, I had on an Averex, and I had on a Kango, and I had on a shirt, I think it was a Mecca shirt, and some of the people there were looking at me like, yeah, I guess that's the 90s. And I'm like, yeah. I was like, in fact, I've had all this shit since the 90s. But my point being is people who weren't there think of it as one thing, and people who were there know what it was.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're telling me that since I was like 5 in the 80s, I don't know what it was, but since you were like 7 or 8 in the 80s, you know what it was?
You wasn't 5 in the 80s. You wasn't 5 in the 80s, first of all. You wasn't 5 in the 80s. You was 5 in the 90s. Stop it. Stop it. So like I said.
It's like,
but you're saying I don't remember, but you're saying I can't remember my first 4 years of my fun life as a rich little kid, then you can remember your first 8 years in the 80s.
Yo, first of all,
bringing up rich and poor, like I don't see what that has.
What the 80s was, nigga. This is for black people. When you were rich or you were poor, that was it.
Listen, I didn't know I was poor until I got to high school. So I didn't know niggas was poor until we got to high school. You know what I'm saying? Till my mom, since I asked my mom, yo, we give me a pair of Jordans. She looked at me like, nigga, Jordans? What the fuck? And she's like, nah, nigga. I'm not paying $80. I'm not paying $80 for you to do this and do that. They get to these $30 joints or these two. I'm saying these 2 for $30 at Favor.
I mean, it happened to me a little bit earlier than that, but yeah, I know what you mean. I didn't know I was poor. I didn't know I was poor until we moved to Plumlee, I guess, and everybody had our name brand sneakers and we had Payless shoes. And I'm like, nigga, how are we all in the hood, but y'all could afford sneakers and we can't? I didn't understand that. But back to what we did, that has nothing to do with this conversation, but I'm not trying to disrespect your generation. I just feel like those who experienced the 80s is the best. Like I remember talking to Pete, and I was like, damn, I wish I was born a little bit earlier so I could have really experienced the 80s. Because my experience of the 80s starts in like maybe 84. Because that's about as far back as I can remember. So I missed some cool shit. But I do remember the 1984 Olympics. I dead ass watched the Olympics when I was 4. But anyway.
Yep. So I remember, I remember when we were getting shots in daycare. They was giving us I'm saying those vaccinating kids in daycare.
I'll one up you. I remember getting shots on the van that came to the hood.
I remember that too.
The van
I remember that too.
To give you immunization.
Yeah. I remember that too.
See how that's what's happening now too?
What?
I said I remember that, but can you see how that's what's happening now too with the van that's giving out COVID shots and shit?
Oh, they got COVID vans now?
Yeah.
In certain places they're trying to do it. They're trying to promote it in urban areas, to people of color. And they say one reason why it lacks is because of location. So a lot of people, they don't have it in their area or their community. They're not going to go out and even try to go out and get it. So now they're trying to place vaccines sites.
I'm very confused. I'm not really following the COVID vaccination because I'm uninterested in getting one. So I don't care where it's going or who can get it. But I do see some people very upset that certain people are able to get it and others aren't. But then I see a lot of I know a lot of people personally who have been able to go get it without a problem. So I guess it's making sense to what you're saying. I guess they're promoting it and they're able to give it to urban cities and give it to Black people very quickly. They want Black people to have it. But I guess white people in New York that want it can't get it, but rich white people in New York can get it. Because this is what I just from what I remember seeing.
But so that's the way it goes in this country, right? It's like the elite will get it and then we'll get good things. And then to make it seem like we care, we'll give it to a small population of the poor. That's the way this goes. And then what happens is that huge chunk of just regular motherfuckers in the middle is like, what the fuck?
It's always like that.
So yeah, but that's why I was confused because I'm like, I know a couple people that got it, or people's parents, that have gotten it, or aunts and stuff. And I'm like, they just got it without any problem. Like they got an appointment, they got it. But then there's people complaining like, oh, I can't get appointments, and all these celebrities are going because celebrities are promoting that they're getting the shot, and then a bunch of fans are on their Twitters and on their Instagrams going in on them like, how can you get it, but my 64-year-old grandpa can't get it? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Who cares if you got it? Let her go get it.
A lot of it is based off of eligibility, your job, your age, and everything like that. If you have underlying conditions, things like that. So a lot of that has to deal with eligibility. But at the same time, the whole rollout was supposed to be put it in medical facilities. You have the first phase where you got essential workers, who work in medical field. They're supposed to get it first. And then the next phase would be EMT and teachers and stuff like that. But each state has its own different regulations on how they're doing it. But when you have that, you have people who have money, so they can get the little inside scoop, like, yo, listen, in Hollywood, you got this studio that's paying this healthcare, facility this amount, so they can get a certain amount of vaccinations to vaccinate this celebrity because they got a movie and this crew and everything like that. So there's so many things, but with money, everything could be manipulated, and everything like that. So
some rich white people went to the hood and took all the shots. They took all the appointments, so then nobody in the hood got the appointments. So it was all these white suburban moms that came to the hood and got their COVID shots.
The whole rollout of it was all messed up. Certain places supposed to get this, certain places supposed to get that, and everything. So it's a whole big clusterfuck, whatever. But there is 50% of the country that basically saying, I don't care for the shot, I'm not getting the shot. And there is 50% of people saying that they are getting the shot. So, because my job offered it, my job already, damn near everybody at my job who wanted it, got it. We was one of the first because we were the same medical facility. So we got it. We were the first ones to get it when it rolled out. But a lot of us was like, yo, we don't know nothing about this. So nah, I'm not doing that. But yeah, we was on the first like last week of December,
So
actually.
you got it?
No, I didn't get it. That shit was too early. Too early to get it.
Too early.
That shit was like straight out the factory. I don't think that shit wasn't even capped or nothing. You know what I'm saying? She had a bag, you know what I'm saying? Gave a bag, you know what I'm saying, wrote COVID, you know what I'm saying, wrote COVID cure. Wrote COVID cure. Niggas didn't have needles. You know what I'm saying, niggas was getting it through straws.
Yeah, at that point, they was just taking shots of the shit and spitting it at you.
Basically, they was like, yo, add water. You know what I'm saying, add water. Circle the shit up. That's how early we was on it. I was like, whoa, wait a minute.
You got to shake it up.
That shit just said COVID cure. And they spelled COVID with a K. I was like, yo, I don't even know if this is real. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, that's how early we was on it. I was like, yo.
Your blood, you had to say COVID with a K.
Yo, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for it. I was like, whoa, I don't know about this. I don't know, man. But yeah, man, it was insane. But yeah, man, but shout out to those who want it. Shout out to those who got it. You know,
Praying
hopefully that works out.
Stay safe.
Yeah, man.
Making sure everybody's safe.
But I'm not totally against it. I'm just not for it right now. So, that's it.
I'm just not
Listen,
in line.
I had something that I wanted to talk about.
Oh yeah, let's get into it.
I had a conversation with a female a couple of days ago, and a female who we have an intimate history with each other, and she mentioned that she's getting her friend, and I said, "Ew, gross." And of course, she did what women do and began to chastise me for being immature and being grossed out by period talk. And I got upset because I posed this question. Why is it okay to casually bring up your monthly visitor? Like, why is that okay?
Oh, I guess this is only for. Huh.
What?
I said, I guess this is only for me, huh?
Well,
I have a little thoughts on it.
Is it okay?
All depends. It all depends on the person, and all depends on how comfortable that person is with you. Because some women just take it as, oh, it's nature. It's it's happens, part of life, whatever. Some motherfuckers don't.
So my argument to that is, so is taking a piss or taking a shit, and
Exactly.
You don't bring that shit up to me. Like,
exactly.
I said this to her. I was like, you never said, "Oh damn, I gotta take a shit." Why would you say, "Oh damn, I'm getting my period"?
Yo, and I get you because when it comes to men, a lot of men don't feel comfortable. Some men do feel comfortable, but some men just don't care for that information. Some men just don't care to hear that information. I don't care if it's natural or not.
In my opinion, the shit is not public conversation. That shit is private. That shit is the same as talking about using the bathroom.
Yeah, for some people. Yeah, for some people, but yeah. But all feels how all depends on how comfortable that person is.
We need to yeah.
Nah, I agree though. I have I think it's, if you guys have boundaries, then there's boundaries you don't cross. Like, you don't talk about shit and you don't really talk about bleeding. Unless you're trying to get some and you're like, well, friends here, so you can know that. In that sense, like, hey, you can't really get none right now because I got a visitor in town or whatever. I'm bleeding. Whatever comfortable conversation you have with this female friend. But I'm all for boundaries. I'm all for not caring. I'm all for not needing to tell that. Like, I agree with you. I don't need to know that. I had a different situation where someone told me too much information about use the bathroom while I was on the phone, and I was like, "Are you using the bathroom?" Like, yeah. And then said I'm taking a poop as a grown ass man. I was like,
That's different.
But that was just gross. I don't need to know that. Those are boundaries. Like,
you won't know. You won't know. You don't.
You could have said I'm using the bathroom. You didn't have to say I'm taking a poop, and then you don't want to say shit. We grown. Like, come on, at this point.
Hey, look. Hold on, wait. So if you call me while I'm taking a shit, That's just the number you rolled, sweetheart.
Oh no. It wasn't that. It wasn't that. You went and took a shit while we were on the phone. Like it got quiet. Are you okay? Why is it so quiet? I said, what are you doing? So you could have said, hey, I gotta use the bathroom, I'll call you back. I can respect that and let you do your business. You don't gotta say, oh, hey, I'm bleeding, ill. Hey, I gotta go take a shit, ill. Hey, I'm about to go piss on myself, or whatever. You don't have to get all, exaggerated in detail. Of course not. Yes, there's boundaries. I agree with you. I would have said ill to her too. If she doesn't usually say it would have been like, I don't need to know that. Understand the immature piece to it because we are adults. It is a natural habit, but it depends on how comfortable that, like Kylie said, that relationship is and where those boundaries are. For me, I would have boundaries, so I would be uncomfortable just saying, "Oh, I'm getting my period," or "I'm getting my like." If we're not there, I'm not telling you that's not going to come out. And if you were to say ill respectfully, I could understand that because everybody has boundaries. Like I don't want to know about when you
I feel like if I'm not one of your girls or if I'm not your man, I don't need to hear that shit.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the same way with some people. But some people are super open. There's the other argument to it.
But that's my thing though. Like I said to this female, I said, you would never tell me, oh, I have to take a shit. But you feel like it's immature for me to be grossed out by you talking about your period. Like my point is the double standard of women's whole sexuality or their whatever has been oppressed for so long that the opposite is sort of happened sometimes. That their womanliness needs to be shouted from the rooftops. And I get that. But some of that shit is still private because you yourself wouldn't tell me about taking a shit, but you'll broadcast the fact that you had your period. And if someone has a problem with it, there's something wrong with them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
like you can't
say.
I
do feel you. Like sometimes you are bashed because you have a problem with that, but it is natural. So if that person is that natural warrior, like I have a friend who's extremely open. She would tell you like, hey, I got to take a shit. My stomach hurts really bad. And she would tell you, hey, my friend is coming and I can feel it coming down. But she's just extremely open.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get it all. So you know how she is and that's who she is as a woman. So that's different. But then if you are open in certain areas and then closed off and like, okay, I'm not going to tell you about my shitting, then you're not really being open. Just trying to use that woman card. You're just pulling your card. Just don't do that.
Some women are private like that, and some women don't feel that, yo, I need to broadcast that shit to everywhere. So it all depends on the person. I feel. But it's funny because even you say that, all these times I've been in CVS and other stores, I don't think I've ever seen a woman buying pads or tampons. A lot of motherfuckers be slick with that shit. I don't know, like,
I've been in the supermarket and just glanced over at people's carriages and seen the box in there, and I'm like, oh shit! Like I feel like I violated by seeing that.
Yo, I must have been not paying attention.
I don't know. You just buy them. Go to the store and buy them. It's natural. It's all part of normal womanhood. But I'm a fan of boundaries. So there's just certain things I don't cross. But there's also people who feel like you got to be open. If you're not open in a relationship, you're not being real. Like you got to shit in front of your husband. You're supposed to, pull your tampon out in front of your husband, and that makes you a real woman. No, that's disgusting. That's my business. I can do that without being
Yeah, it's not a sight I want to see.
Pull your tampon out in front of me. That would be.
I'm just telling you. I've had conversations where people are like, you're not being open and honest with your partner if you are not comfortable doing those things. And I just feel like there's boundaries. Like my husband does not have to worry about me to sit there while he shits. Privacy, that's your time.
That's out of control. That's out of control.
But there's women that's like, sit there. And I'm like, I'm not trying to, if I'm in there, sure, I can understand urgency, but this ain't
I wish I didn't have to be in there with that shit. Like, I don't want somebody else in there.
But there are people who are comfortable with that.
Not be there.
I've had issues having to set that boundary. Like, no, sir, that's your privacy. Like, Come in here. I'm trying to talk. No, I'll give you a second when you're done. We can talk. Like, you have to set boundaries.
So
Some people are open with that.
So are you one of those people who's against showering with your mate?
Shits.
Are you against showering with your mate? Shower.
Oh, no, I'm not.
Yeah. I just don't care for it that much because our tub is it's you know what I'm saying, our tub is small. So and then with the room, you know what I'm saying? So I'm saying you got the soap on, she in the front, and then you be like, I'm cold, so you gotta move and all that. Sometimes you just don't got time for that shit. You be like, nigga, wait till I get out first. Wait till I get out first, and then you know what I'm saying.
You hop in the last little couple minutes because I'll rinse it off. You can come in
now. and don't I'm saying, and don't let it be. I'm saying, don't let it be you in the house. I'm saying with bad pipes. I'm saying because you I'm saying you only got like 5-10 minutes before that water get real cold.
Right.
I'm saying when it's hot. So
right.
Now you gotta rush. And, you know what I'm saying? One want to do their hair and all that stuff like that. But like, nah, you got. I'm saying, so let me rinse off real quick first. You know what I'm saying? Before it get cold.
I don't have no problem.
I'm not really with the showering with people thing. I just think wet and nudity and it's just gross to me for some reason. I don't know. But
aren't you wet when you're nude with the person anyway? Is it?
No, I'm not a big sweater.
I wasn't talking about that, but okay.
That's different. And I remember I had it happen to me one time where I was taking a shower at this woman's house, and she took it about herself to hop in the shower while I was in there. Yo, you want to talk about somebody who was mad? If I would ever hit a woman, I almost I'm sitting like
yeah.
That's like hitting somebody for asking them to eat.
No, she hopped in the shower and I'm like
Yo, exactly. He's like, nigga, wait your turn. Exactly, yo. It's cool. It's cool once in a blue.
That's part of getting to know who you fucking with. They should know, like, there's boundaries. You got to ask those questions. Because for a while,
but some women.
For me, I'm like, nah, don't get in the shower with me because I don't want to.
Yeah, but some women feel like if you don't do that kind of stuff, it shows that you ain't like about them. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I think that's again getting to your partner. You should be able to have that kind of conversation with them and let them know why.
I'm about
what sex.
Yeah, I'm about a proper clean ass. That's what I'm about. So now let me do this first. You know what I'm saying? Then you can come in or whatever. Especially after we just got finished doing whatever and everything like that. Like, why do we need? I'm saying, why we even need to be in the shower? I'm saying we already did that. Whatever. So now
round 2 in the shower. What's wrong with that? I'm for the shower.
Listen.
I'm for the shower.
Listen, my shower ain't big enough. My shower ain't big enough. So.
Yeah, I'm small and all of my showers have been big enough. And respectfully, you have to ask, like we talked about this in a different time. You got to read the room. You got to understand your partner. Like DeMario's not into that shit. Don't hop in the shower with him. You might get throat checked.
No, but hold on. In my defense, I went with it, you know what I'm saying? Because like, I feel like in a relationship, I feel like if something is a bigger deal to you than me, then you get this win. You know what I mean? So I was made uncomfortable, but she loved it. So I was like, whatever, you get this win.
Yeah, I'm saying, yeah. I mean, it's 50-50. It all depends. It all depends on the situation, but majority of the time, I want to be alone in the shower so I could properly wash myself.
Wash.
Yeah. And enjoy, you know?
I mean, how am I going to masturbate if you in the shower with me? You know?
I mean,
unless wash up, don't masturbate.
Unless you in the shower and she just stick a hand in there and just do it like that. That's cool.
That would be the best.
That's cool.
In the shower and then a hand just comes in and it's just like, and I'm like, oh.
You know what I'm saying?
People sure are friendly around here.
Hey, I don't mind that at all. I don't mind. Keep going. Harder. Faster.
And then you find out it's her brother.
Nah, chill out.
Stop it.
Nah, stop that.
Gross.
I don't know. Yeah, that's not happening. That's not happening. Yeah. But yeah.
Mario.
What?
Why would you do that? That's not nice. Like, why would you do that?
Because a random hand maybe ain't always the best thing in the world, is my point.
No, I know who the hands are. No, I know the hands. So
I mean, I live alone, so if a random hand came into the shower, they get shot.
yeah, that'd be an issue.
Because I keeps this. Right?
Speaking of 80s and us setting the standard, for the whole world and the culture. I was watching the Wizard the other day. The Wizard came on yesterday.
Yeah.
Son, what? See what I'm talking about?
It's a video game movie from the 90s.
Oh.
Yep. Actually, it's from the yeah, you can say that.
I think it's 90, maybe 91, maybe 90.
Yeah. Super Mario. No, actually 89. It's actually 89.
Because Super Mario 3 didn't come out till 89.
To 89, yeah.
Before Super Mario 3 came out.
3, exactly. So it was about 89, 88. So you was 3. So you was 3. So
what
you know
are
what I'm saying?
Talking about? What are y'all talking about?
So I'm watching this movie, very corny now, but very The Wizard, yes.
Can you see the year?
89, yep.
Yeah, my dad doesn't let me watch white movies.
Stupid. Well, this movie, if you do get a chance to watch it, The Wizard, it's very, very prophetic on how gaming would soon come to be. As far as, because at the end, they have this big tournament where all the gamers around the world, I'm saying around the country come and they play for this prize. Whatever, like $50,000. And it's certain games that they know, certain games that they don't know. Whatever. And the best one wins 50,000. Now you fast forward it now, how gaming fucking took off, where motherfuckers is playing for $3 million, coming together, playing a game and winning for $3 million. The Wizard prophesized that. That movie was before its time. Yeah. It changed fucking gaming the way the whole structure and system, how they went about it. Yeah, it's crazy. And The Wizard kind of was like before that. But yeah, it was definitely dope.
I feel like Mario should get into gaming.
What?
There's real money in gaming. I feel like you should get into gaming.
Oh no, I'm nowhere near good enough. I play video games online for the first time. I started playing maybe like a couple months ago, and these people are amazing. You can't just be good at video games.
Yeah.
You have to be amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I just should step our internet game up so we could probably pimp my son, my middle one, into gaming, because he's very into gaming and stuff. He be like entering tournaments and all that.
I was in this room on Clubhouse and they're talking about just like lucrative businesses, and gaming came up and they were talking about trying to get more S5s and just game systems availability more in the hood to give kids from underprivileged communities a chance to actually get involved in gaming, because the talent, but they just don't have the access to the equipment. They don't have a PS5. Huh?
What is Clubhouse?
It's an audio app. It's an audio app on Twitter, where it's like audio chat rooms on Twitter.
Oh,
basically,
so it's Boston Donuts.
Basically, almost like that.
Yeah. Definitely Boston Donuts.
And you get followers. You create your rooms. You get your followers and stuff like that. And that's the one Master P was talking about, how Black people need to stop freaking investing into white apps and white businesses, and once they get real huge, they don't like how it's going and gonna complain about it. And you know what I'm saying? Because at first, when Clubhouse first came, it started off as a $12 million investment. Now it's valuated at $1 billion, and it's not even available for Android yet either, and other platforms. Once it becomes that, it's going to be twice or 3 times what I'm saying what it's worth. It's still in its beta stages. Like Master P's like, yo, there's other black apps that are similar to Clubhouse. Why don't black people go on those? And they've been out, but a lot of black people don't touch it and everything like that. But they're going to turn around and, huh?
You don't know about it.
No, they do know about it, but some people just like, nah, I'm not gonna go with that.
Coming up called the Cookout.
Yeah, it's called yeah. Well, it's called the Cookout, but I guess they're revamping it now because after Master P, after Master P talked about it, it kind of blew up, and now they're like, I'm saying a lot of people, invested into it, and they're saying they're changing it around. I think it was called like the Black Clubhouse or something like that. And now they're calling it the Cookout.
It was called what?
I think it was called Black Clubhouse. But now they're changing it to the Cookout or something like that. But I think it came out before Clubhouse too.
Yeah, I think I heard of it before Clubhouse. It was like a black thing that was supposed to. I don't think they just didn't have people behind it quick enough.
But and again, a lot of people.
As far as like a team though, like your IT team, like you don't have enough. If you don't have enough freaking in the kitchen, you're not gonna be able to get the plate the way you want it. So they didn't have ability. So if it's just like if us 3 create something, but we need someone else to get us to that next level in graphics and communications and IT work, like all that type of stuff. So I don't think they just had enough support behind them to get it before Clubhouse got popping. But it still sounds like a good one, especially if it's just for black people. Let's call it the Cookout.
Well, it's not even just for black people. It's just basically black owned. It's just basically black owned and wanted to be supported by Black dollars so black people could have their own platform, and for the culture, someone for the culture, and everything. And speaking of for the culture, right? I was watching a Vlad TV interview. I try to not to watch as much Vlad anymore, but I was watching a Vlad TV interview and he had Earthquake on there, Earthquake the comedian. And their topic was they was talking about Dave Chappelle, how he got his how he got a show back. Comedy Central is finally paying him and everything, and basically he won against a major corporation. And so Earthquake was giving him praise about it, talking how great Dave Chappelle was. But then Vlad was like, I'm gonna get pushback from this, but for me personally, a contract's a contract, and I wouldn't go against it. If a motherfucker signed that contract, you can't go against that. You can't have pushback from that. And they kind of go back and forth and got into it. And then I was like, yo, see, and this is the problem with certain people. Certain people don't understand culture. When a person is for the culture and when a person could move the culture and impact the culture like that, culture always wins. Regardless, culture's always going to win. And Vlad's whole thing was, well, if you sign the contract, because Vlad was talking about certain examples of, he had a similar examples where he had people in the contract, the interview blew up, that person became big time famous, and now they want their rights to the interview or whatever, they could do that. And Vlad's like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. But then I'm like, yo, you don't understand a person creating content, creating something like that, and then when they're of the culture's always gonna speak for itself, and the culture's always gonna win. And people like Vlad, when it comes to that, I'm saying, which kind of made me mad, him speaking against that when he's talking about contracts over culture, it kind of made me, like, it left a real bad taste in my mouth. It left a real bad taste in my mouth, and I understood what Dane was talking about now when he talks about how Vlad was a culture vulture. But it was just,
It's funny to me that that's not surprising to come from that Vlad. Vlad's a fucking, he's not one of us. Like, at first you thought he was, but he's not one of us. And he has a point, right? You signed it. But the other side of that is a whole bunch of things, like one, a young man who doesn't know what he's signing, a corporation knowing that they're taking advantage of an artist, the idea that if we create something together, once I sign my name, all of it is yours, is a scam from the giddy up. So if I sign the contract, that's a scam to begin with. I don't. I'm not mad at somebody for fighting. It's a scam.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he signed it, but it's a scam. He got ripped from the beginning.
And my thing is, right, and so Vlad was talking about, he was talking about, yeah, well, he should have signed it and everything like that, and and everything. But I'm like, yo, but the thing is, that's content that he created. Regardless if he signed it or not, that's still content that he created. And basically, what Dave did for Comedy Central, he basically blew them up because even before Dave Chappelle show, there was basically damn near 2 shows that was keeping the lights on at Comedy Central. You had The Daily Show, and you had freaking South Park. Those are the only 2 shows that was known for Comedy Central. Then 99 comes, here comes Dave Chappelle show, blows up. All of a sudden, Comedy Central has a new facelift or whatever, brings all these different urban acts, people of color and everything like that to Comedy Central. Because without Dave Chappelle, you won't have Key and Peele. Even Key and Peele wasn't the cultural success like Dave Chappelle, but Key and Peele wouldn't exist without Dave Chappelle. And the only way Key and Peele was even staying afloat is because it had some type of, sentiments of Dave Chappelle, but it wasn't that.
Chappelle show wasn't 99 though.
Huh?
Chappelle show wasn't 99.
When did it come?
Like 02, 03.
Yeah, but yeah.
But
I'm thinking Chris Rock. I'm sorry.
So here's my issue, and I'm gonna get a little bit racial here. I'm sorry. It seems to me that in general, when you deal with white folks, white folks usually go by the letter of the law. It's like even when driving, I'll do this. There's no law against it. You know what I mean? Whereas minorities, I'll say, or just black folks, we kind of go by what's right or what we feel is right. You know what I mean? Like if somebody gets over on the system, we're like, oh, word, good shit. Whereas average white folks are like, well, that's wrong. The law clearly states blah blah blah, and it's like, bro, I understand that it's the letter of the rule was stated, and I understand that we need rules and guidelines. I understand that we need that, but the other thing you have to understand that white folks don't even understand is these rules were made to benefit certain people, and contrary to popular belief, these rules are not necessarily made to benefit you, average white guy. They're not really made for you. They're made for your boss. You know what I'm saying? And you have to understand that. and
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
And that's what it is too. It's like, and that's why it's important for us to either have people in those high places, when it comes to making those decisions on what goes and what doesn't, or us having our own things when it comes to people that are culturally competent. Because it's like, you have people that come out with so many good things, but I'll say a lot of people look at, well, are they trending on Instagram, or how many followers do they have on this? And it's just like, yo, a lot of that shit don't matter. A lot of that shit don't matter. Sometimes when a person can have something that's for the culture and that's so dope, but just don't know how to get it out there like that, yo, that's some shit that you want to fuck with. And sometimes it's not always about the popular thing. And that's where a lot of people that's not of us, fuck up when it comes to certain shows. Because a lot of times you'll have these shows where it's a pattern on, this show was just like this show. This show was just like this show, because they're only going what was popular and what worked the first time. And I'm saying they're scared to go out on a limb on something original. But we always been original. We always been the creators of cool. We always created cool shit. So it's just like, when we say, yo, this is dope and this is what people need, listen to us. Please, just listen to us. Because we always create dope shit. Period.
All right. What is she doing?
I don't know. You keep on freezing.
I know. No, I think it's just because I was trying to check to see if the internet is spotty. But no, I'm not doing anything. I think the internet is just spotty. I was trying to see if it was messing up. I had to refresh it. I'm here.
All right.
Yeah. Anything else? Anything else?
What else you had to bring?
Solve the world's problems.
Yeah, we kind of did. And you know, Miss KI kept on going in and out, but she's still here. She's still here with us.
I kept coming back.
Mhm.
I kept back. Sorry.
But
Don't
yeah,
worry.
but
Next week, guys, I have a new location, better internet connection. I'll be back, even better.
all right. Anyways, man, if you definitely check us out with the audio version, you want to check out the full video version, make sure you check us out on YouTube. It's at Barely Watching Podcast, no spaces. You want to check us out on social media, it's Barely Watching Podcast through our platforms, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff. All right. And again, I go by the name of Kobra Karate. We's in the juice.
And it's
Got loose.
mobile across the global. Bubble.
Following Black Seth Rogen, you got your girl kid.
She said black sex.
Out of here.
Black Saxon. Black Saxon.
Black Saxon Rogen.
Talk about a
Rogen,
flip. That was a 40 flip.
Whatever. We out of here. It's your girl,
Right.
Bye.
All right, y'all.